All right, everyone. So my name is Alex, and I'm joined here by Amanda. We are onboarding specialists. So what we do day to day is pretty much meet with new Kartra customers, kind of walk them through and teach them a little bit about how they can use Kartra to, pretty much build their online business and run all the aspects of it. I see a familiar face in here, Nefertiti. I think I met with you when we were both going through and starting out. So it's nice to see you again. And then anyone else here, it's nice to meet you as well. Today's topic is going to be creating courses in Kartra, which is a pretty popular topic. A lot of people that I meet with are interested in either building their online content, creating a portal so that they can kind of distribute that content to their clients. And how that's done within Kartra is with the memberships feature. So I'll just go through a quick slideshow to kind of introduce the topic, and then we'll go into the actual live demonstration. If you guys have any questions along the way, feel free to ask them. If they're specific to your business, we can get into all of them after that demonstration here. But what are memberships? So Kartra memberships are online content portals. They're perfect for building online memberships, courses, training programs, and anything else that pretty much, where you have to have like password protected content, or it could even be non-password protected. But basically online content all in one sort of online hub that your clients can access. Kartra provides you with plenty of tools required to manage all of your members. They're all going to be in the membership analytics section of your account, as well as the lead profiles. You can review and make changes to performance statistics, and I'll kind of show you that here as well, where you're going to find all of that information. So I'll send you guys this slide presentation. I think Amanda can actually put it in the chat here now. But with this video, we had a demonstration done by one of our top certified partners, Jessica Skyen, where she kind of walked you through the entire process of creating a membership. So if you kind of want a step-by-step follow-along demonstration, I highly recommend watching that recording, as it's a great information. She not only goes into how to build it, but why and kind of the additional aspects that are going into the membership as well. Now, one of the main topics for creating your membership is building it out. That's kind of the first part. It's kind of like the page builder, where you're just dragging and dropping elements in, designing your membership. But from there, you have what's called access levels and progression. So access levels let you set up tiers within your membership. So some people will do like a bronze, silver, gold tier, right? But there's also people that'll set up like free tiers, or maybe, you just have one tier within your membership. It lets you separate your content. So maybe if you're selling, different products, you can separate the content based on those products or those tiers. And then people within, like say someone's in your bronze tier, they're not going to be able to access any of your silver and gold content. They're only going to be able to access the content within the access level that they have. Now, you're able to create up to 10 access levels for each membership, and you can designate which posts are available within each of those access levels. One of the other cool things is you're able to kind of drip feed your content as well. So you can see on the side here, with each post, you can decide whether it's going to be instant access, whether people are going to receive it on a specific amount of days after they've gained access, or on a specific date that you designate. And then within memberships, you also have individual memberships or portals. And this confuses a lot of people at the beginning because, memberships and portals kind of sound like the same thing. Really, the difference is every membership that you create in Kartra gets its own login link, right? So you can create multiple memberships. They're each going to have their own individual login link. But if you're the type of person that has multiple different courses, memberships, training programs set up, you can give them all one login link by creating a membership portal. Basically, it's kind of like a hub for all of your memberships. So if you have, multiple memberships, you can just provide everyone with the membership portal link. That way they can log into that and get access to whichever membership they have from there. So if you're just the type of person just creating one course, you don't have to really worry about creating a portal. I think where the portal really stands out is it kind of works like a sales page for you. So like say someone, has access to one membership and they log into your portal, they can see all of the other memberships that you have available, and they can purchase them from that member, login page essentially. So it kind of works as a sales page, upsell page, but also as a login link for your portals there. And selling memberships. So in order to sell a membership, when you create it, you're just going to get the login link. To sell it, you're going to have to set up some sort of product to go along with it. So in Kartra, you can create products, right? And during one of the product steps, you'll see this accessing your product content. So that's like what somebody is actually getting when they're purchasing your product. And with under that category, you can just link your Kartra membership, and each price point can link to a specific access level within that membership. So if you just have one access level, you can, just sell it as one price point. But if you have multiple, access levels, you can either create a separate product for each of those access levels or create a new price point for each one that's associated with it. And last but not least, we have tons of resources to kind of help you get started. I think Amanda's sharing some of them in the chat feed here, but you can always go to our Kartra Help Center, and all of those kind of resources are available there for you. Some of them have video demonstrations and follow along text where you can kind of go along and get all of that information that you need. And these are quick links. So again, this live presentation should be available for you. You can download it and access all of the content from directly within here as well. But all right, that's just a quick introduction on memberships. I'll go into the demonstration portion now and kind of show you around. And again, if you guys have any questions, put them in that chat feed and we will get to them right after this demo. So memberships here. Ooh, go over to Kartra. Sorry about that. All right. Again, the first place you're going to go for any sort of course content is this membership section of your account. So you'll see it right here on the sidebar under memberships. And you can create as many different memberships as you want. Again, there's really no limit to the amount of memberships that you can create. However, again, you're limited to the amount of access levels within each of those memberships. I have an example here that I'll kind of show you. It's kind of designed as a fitness trainer membership. So we'll just look at this here and I'll break down how this was created. Like most things in Kartra, it's always going to be a step-by-step process. So you're going to start with, your basic info, and then you're just going to go through and kind of fill out all of the information until it's been completed. But within the basic info, you're going to add things like your membership description, the sales promotional page. So this is the page that you plan on selling your membership from. If you don't have the page built yet, you can, always skip this step and come back to it later, or you can just put a placeholder in. But why this is available here is because when you are basically providing your login link, if somebody that is not a member goes to your membership login link, there's going to be a little kind of prompt, I guess, at the bottom of that, and I'll show you later, where it says, if you're not a member, click here, and it'll redirect them to whatever this page is for them to purchase. So that's why this information is here, and it's required to kind of complete your membership. If you don't have your sales page, don't worry, but you can always add it in here later on. And then next is the password protection. So again, your courses, your memberships, whatever you're creating can be password protected, and definitely recommended if you want it to be, if you're selling access to it like that, right? But if it's just some sort of like content portal, content library where it doesn't really need to be password protected, you can just do no password is required, and then anyone can access your membership. I feel like the most common one always is going to be that password protection though. So next, under this content section is where you're going to be spending most of the time building out your membership. You'll see here that it has a builder. You'll click launch, and it's going to pull you into kind of like the membership builder, which is pretty similar to the page builder. Memberships always have sort of the same structure where you can't really deviate from it too much. Pretty much this is the structure that you're left with, where you have your navigation bar at the top, and then all of your post information kind of in the middle here, and then you have sidebar contents. So there's 3 different sections. And when you're in this, all these, I guess, assets that you're able to drag and drop in, you'll see they're categorized by those 3 different sections. So the top header, we can add things like an announcement bar to the top if we want. And this is just, a highlighted bar that'll show up and kind of give an announcement or anything that you want to kind of display there at the top. A marquee, which lets you put like a nice little background image and some header text if you want to kind of give a little more branding. And then you just have your logo here, which is in this navigation menu at the top. So you can upload your logo and change there's no way to remove any of these functions like your search, profile, sitemap, help, right? But you can rename them if you want. So if you're doing a different language, or if you don't like help, maybe you want to put like support center or something like that, you can put all of those options in there. And then when it comes to setting up the structure of your membership, there's basically 3 layers or tiers to it. When we hit edit here, you can see that we're able to add categories, which is that first layer. And then under those categories, we can create different subcategories. And we can create, as many as we want when we're building out our membership. And you can see here, this is just an example of like a fitness membership where one category is live classes, another category is a meal recipe book, and then we have workout routines and member community, right? So you can see that only one of my categories has subcategories. Everything else is just using the main category section. So really just thinking about how you want to set it up, how all your content is organized. There's basically 3 layers: categories, subcategories, and then within there you have posts, which are these post contents on the side. So like, see, here's our category, meal recipe book. We have our subcategory. Let's go to vegetarian recipes, right? And then we can go down to like our post, which is, maybe we want to learn how to make buffalo cauliflower tacos, right? And then all of our content is within that post. Now, again, all of your sidebar content is going to be in the side. So you can put like, here we have our host box, which is this little kind of host square that has like all of our links to social media. I used a banner here, which on the side, which I just created something in Canva, and then it serves like a button, right, where you can click on it and be redirected to whatever website that you have there. You can put products directly in the side if you want to sell products with your memberships, features, posts, progress bars. There's a few different sidebar contents. And then all of your post contents, these are actually like the bread and butter, all the things that you're providing to people. And there's a bunch of different options. In this example, it's mostly text and images, right, for something like a recipe book. But if you're doing like workout routines, you can put videos, downloadable files, whatever, there's a bunch of different options: audio playlists, surveys, calendars. I think we have a calendar set up under the live classes schedule, right? So people can go in and schedule their different classes directly within the membership. So there's a lot of different options and different features that you could put directly in here to get your content out there. Videos, highlight boxes, the whole 9 yards. Now, when you're going through and kind of listing everything out, you're able to do descriptions that'll show up for all of those content, or you can just kind of leave it blank. You'll see that as you're creating different posts, it's going to give you the option to like add a description in there. Kind of show you that real quick. So we can do like a new post, right? And when you're creating a new post, it's always going to ask you for like the post name, post description, and you can even put a little icon in there. And then, of course, you have your different header colors, your branding colors, which you can do with your text. There's really not too much customization that you can do with the membership builder in terms of the structure and the layout. It's always going to have the same kind of set structure. But when you go to these actions and you're done and you hit like something like save and exit, you have 3 different designs to choose from on how that structure is going to be displayed. I kind of like the second one because it gives your branding color kind of at the top, but you can do the side one if you want. You can look through each of them and preview them to see which one looks best for you. And then again, that is going to be where you're going to spend most of your time, right? It's always a great idea to build all of your content out first, because you're going to need that when you're going on to the next steps, right? So next is going to be comments. So under each of those posts, you're able to enable comments or leave comments disabled. So if you're doing something like, I think in our member community section for this one, we want comments on because we want people to interact. But if it's something like a recipe book or workout routines or anything else that we're selling, we don't want any comments on, because there's really no point in having people comment on that content. It's more educational, right? And then if you have comments enabled, you are able to say auto approve all comments. So they're going to go in automatically, or they have to be approved by an admin. So someone will submit their comment or their chat, and then you have to approve it before it shows up on your membership there. Next is going to be that access level section. And this is where you are setting up different tiers. In this membership example, I have 4 tiers set up. So one for each of those main categories, because we're going to be selling access to each of them. And then we have a free tier that we're using as sort of a lead magnet. And that free tier is just giving people access to like little teasers for each of the sections to kind of prompt them to purchase one of them, right? And you'll see like my workout routines level only has access to the workout routines and the member community, right? The recipe book only has access to all of the recipes. The live classes only has access to live classes. So that's why it's important to kind of build out all of your content first, so that once you get to this step, you can designate where all of that content belongs within your access levels. And then on the side is where you're able to designate whether or not people are getting access to your content immediately, or if it's going to be, drip fed to them over a certain amount of days. So if you're doing something like a course or a training program, maybe you want each post to unlock like one day after, the previous one, right? So you would go through and you would hit one day after for each of your posts, and then just keep doing that, right? So this one would be 2 days after sign up, right? You're able to kind of designate how often they're going to see those new posts getting unlocked for them. And then you're also able to do it by specific date, but just note that like if you do it, for example, like 7:30 is when this post is unlocked, anyone that's joining your membership after this date is going to automatically have access to that content. So that's just something to note there. All right. Just make sure that this is all back. Okay. Now under your access level, oh, and again, you're able to add up to 10 different access levels, and you just do that by hitting the add level button there. Next is the managing mock posts. So for example, like again, somebody going into this and has access to our meal recipe book is not going to have access to our live classes and our workout routines, right? But we're able to say that we want to display the post and keep it unclickable to kind of give them a little teaser of what is available, and it can prompt them to go and purchase that tier if they're interested. Or you can don't display it and lock the post in the navigation bar so they don't get any of that information. So yeah, there's a lot of different features here that are available, especially like how you want to kind of display all of your content if you're doing multiple access levels. But if it's just kind of one tier that you're making for your membership, you don't really have to worry too much about your locked content. But again, your options are display the post, keep it unclickable, or display the post and pop a teaser window. I believe if you do the teaser window, yeah, it gives you the option to kind of display how you want that teaser window to look, so that you can kind of, put a nice video or a call to action, a headline to kind of entice people to purchase that content from you. And I'll just, again, go back to here's. Alrighty, we'll just save this and move on to the next step, which is the progression step. So access levels, again, organizing your content into different tiers and designating, how those tiers are going to drip feed that content to you. Progress is going to designate, are people allowed to access any of that content at any time, or do they have to go in order? For example, like if you enable progress, somebody has to complete, category 1, subcategory 1, right, before they get subcategory 2 or subcategory 3. Basically, they have to progress in order. So that's good if you're doing something like, a training program where you have different lessons and you want to make sure that somebody is completing lesson 1 before they go to lesson 2. Make sure that you're setting up your progression. That way people can't jump around to like the last lesson at the very beginning, right? So again, and you can display when you're doing this progress for each level if progression applies. So if you have progression, like maybe for our workout routines, we want to have progression enabled, but for something like the meal recipe book, we don't want any progression enabled so that people can just access whatever recipe they want, right? So just thinking about your content, does it need to have progression? If so, make sure you have it enabled, and then you can go through each of these tiers and decide which ones that applies to. And then at the end, you can prompt a completion badge if you want. You just get to make the nice little badge here, gives them a little, hey, great, you did it kind of pop up to go through. And again, a few different designs to choose from. You're just adding your title and the text and then the design. Let me just go in here. I don't think we need progress for this one. All right. Next step is going to be the help desk step. So this is only going to be really available for people that have Kartra growth and above, because you don't get the help desk feature unless you have Kartra growth. What the help desk is it allows you to create a support help desk for your clients. So if any of your members, need to reach out to you and submit a ticket or reach out for like email support, you can create that help desk and they can just click on that icon. You just link it in here. But if you are just on the starter plan, don't worry about that. You can just create like a contact me or something button like within your sidebar for anyone that needs to reach out to you directly. And then lastly is the welcome message. So welcome messages, this is the email that somebody is going to get once they get access to your membership. And this is important because it's going to provide them with their username, password, and login link, right? So when you're going in here, I kind of designed this out with the rich HTML, but I believe there's a default one that has just all of your membership, dynamic variables in here. So these are the important bits, right? These are the bits that you want to make sure that you're including, because this is how, when the email is sent, somebody is getting the login page info that they can go to, the email, password, right? So that they can log in and access their account. So always important to make sure you have this email set up. And again, this email automatically goes out to anyone getting access to your membership, whether they're purchasing it from you or getting free access or you're giving them access manually. This email is going to be sent out to all of those people. Go ahead and save that. And I said last but not least, but last, of course, you have the automations here too. So with automations, you can do things like assign tags or add people to lists when they are added to your membership, become a member. You can subscribe them to sequences. So maybe if, once somebody becomes a member, if you want to send them a series of emails, just providing them with information, you can do that easily. And then there's other basic automations for any other, automations that you would need to create. For example, I have an automation set up here for free access where anyone filling out a form is getting access to our membership level. So just different examples of things you can do with automations. Again, automations are always things that are running on the back end. If someone does something, then something's happening. In this case, that action is going to be when somebody gets access to the membership, then do something else. And those are all the settings that go into creating a membership. Again, I think the big ones to look out for are the contents. That's where you're building everything out. And then the access levels and progress, because that's where you're setting up, how they're getting that content and able to go through that content. And then as we explained before, when I was going through the slide presentation, I know there were a few people that maybe got in a little later, but every membership that you create, you're getting a login link for. And this is the link that, your members are going to go to access your login to your membership, right? Pretty simple and basic stuff. It's just a generic login page, but so how that means, and I'll kind of show you here what it looks like. It's a Kartra generated page, so you don't really get to design it too much. It just has your logo, and then it says, log into your account, password, right, and go in. If you want to design your own login page that, has your branding, looks pretty, you can definitely do that. You would just do it in like the pages section of your account, or if you have another web application like WordPress or something where you're building your pages, you can do it in there. Just make sure that when you're going to this login link, you can change it. So you have the Kartra's default login page, or you can choose your own page, Kartra page design. It actually doesn't look like you can use an external page, just Kartra. And then you can go in here and choose your page that you created. I didn't create a login page for this one, but if you had it created, you just select it. And then when you're in that page building, I think you add a button to it, and then you can replace that button with the membership login link. And that's how people are going into there. But in this case, let me just put it back to, default. And then you also have your admin login. So this lets you go in and access your content, without any of the restrictions, right? If you have progression or access levels set up, you're able to just go in and bypass all of that. And I'll just kind of show you what it would look like, from a customer's perspective. So here's like the membership, how they would see it, right? They're always going to the home page first, and that's always going to be like the first section they're landing on, right? And then they can navigate through to all of your other sections. So if they want to, sign up for live classes, they can go here and then choose, what class they want and go on, continue. And then all of the other content, is available for them to review from there as well. And then you have, the profile, which is your customer's profile. So all of your members have their own individual profile where they can see like all of their saved posts or all of their comments and things like that. And then they have a sitemap, which pretty much gives them an overview of the entire membership and all of the content that's available. So they can kind of go through and see, have they read it? Have they not seen it? How much have they completed? I think it's important, very helpful for things like training portals and any sort of educational content that you're creating. And then a search feature. So if they want to see, search for anything specific, they're able to kind of enter that information in there, and it'll kind of redirect them to where that information is on the membership. All right, let me go back to Kartra. Now, again, each membership has its own login link here. But if you want to create one login link for multiple memberships, you can set up a portal. So it should be under content where you see your memberships and go to portal. And this is where you're able to build out your portals here. So you're just entering the name of it, and I'll just edit this one so you can kind of see what it'll look like when you're going through the settings. So you're choosing which membership sites are going to be included within that portal. Then you're choosing, is it going to display all of the memberships or only the ones people have access to? Or is it a forced login? So if someone wants to go in and they only have that access, they can just go directly into that membership. I think portals really shine with the display all memberships again, because it's pretty much upselling itself, right? People are able to see all of the memberships that you have, and then they can say, oh, that one looks interesting, but I don't have access to that. Maybe, and they can go in and sign up and purchase access to that one as well. And then you can display, what order they're going to be in with the sort. You can customize like, the page logo, the marquee, the progress bar for all of the memberships. You can add your support help desk like the other membership portal, and then you just get a link to that portal directly. So I'll kind of show you what that looks like here. And you can see like you have your marquee image, all of your text. I didn't really set this one up, so it's not a great example, but you can kind of see how it's laid out, right? And then you have all of your different membership areas right there. So if, I have access to all of them, so I can hit access now and log in. Whereas if I didn't have access to something, it would have like a little lock button on it, and then I could purchase access if I was interested. And then under this section, you also have the comments. So if you are doing comment moderation where it's automatic, you don't really have to worry too much about this. You can kind of go in here and delete any comments that you don't want. But any pending comments you'll see in here, you can approve them, decline them, and you can sort them by specific membership, because you're going to see all of your comments in this section. And then last but not least, under this membership portal is your analytics. And this is going to provide you with all of the statistical information for how your memberships are performing, right? How many members are active, how many members are inactive, and then you get today versus yesterday, average retention, so how long people are staying in that membership, progression, time to completion, and you can see all of those, different information of how many subscriptions you're getting on a day-to-day basis, right, for the period of time that you're selecting. Like anything else, you can view it for all your memberships or for those specific ones, and you can set a date time frame to see how you perform within those dates. The other area is when you go to communications and you click on somebody's profile. So I'll just do mine here. There's always a memberships tab within their lead profile, and whenever it loads here, yep. So you'll see it under here, memberships. If we go and click on this membership tab, we can see all of the memberships that somebody has access to. They'll be listed here, and we can grant access manually. So say we want to, say some person, I don't know, we want to give access on the back end, or maybe there's something specific that you want to grant access to. Maybe there's someone special that you just want to give free access to. You can do it manually here. And you have to choose like, the access level as well. So let's say we'll give this one access to live classes. save, and you can see, you'll see a list of all the memberships they have, whether they're active or inactive, and we can deactivate the access if we need to. We can resend them the welcome email if they're saying like, oh, we didn't get the login credentials. Just go here, resend the welcome email. It should be redirected to them. And you can manually change their password if they're having trouble logging in for whatever reason. Alrighty. And that is pretty much it with memberships. I think we'll get into your questions now. I think the only other things I really want to show you is the products and the forms. So products, if you are selling access to your membership, you want to make sure that your product, when you are setting it up, it's in the post-sale step. You will see the accessing your product content section. So it's all the way here in this post-sale. So I'll just go over to that real quick, just to give you guys a visual. And under that section, you will see accessing your product contents. Again, that is what people are actually getting when they purchase your product. And you can see Kartra membership is one of those options there. So you just choose membership, and then you're choosing, for each price point, what access level they're getting. Now, if you want to grant free access to a membership, you want to do it with a form. So if we go to forms, and I have one set up here as well, you're just setting up your form, and the important bit is the automation. I showed you kind of in my membership setup where if somebody fills out this form, they're getting access to the membership. That's pretty much it. You can also do the automation within the form too. I think I have it set up here as well. Yeah. So if someone fills out this form, then they're granting access to the membership level free, right? So that's really how you would set up free access, unless you're doing it manually on the back end through somebody's lead profile. But alrighty, guys. I want to get into your specific questions because I know you guys are setting up, individual courses based on your unique businesses. So if there's something that you want to know if Kartra can do it or how to do it, now is the time to ask. I think we have a few in the chat already as well.
Yeah, we just have one so far from Nefertiti. Question is, if I have a course and ebook, can I put both in the portal?
So like you're talking about like the actual portal here, right? So with the portals, you can only add memberships to them, right? But what you could do is add your ebook to your membership so that only people like are able to access it within there. Now, there's kind of two ways to do that, right? You could just you could set your membership up as an ebook essentially, where each category is like a chapter, right? And people are reading through that to access all of your content. Or you can just have a section within your membership that has like a downloadable button, and that ebook is connected to that, and anyone in that section can just click the button and download it from there. It's not possible to, like with a portal, to put like an ebook and a membership on it. But what you could do is create a page, like a custom login page, where you have your membership login. And then under that, or to the side of it, you have your ebook download so that people are able to access both. The only thing is, I don't know if, are you selling access to your ebook? That's something that you could do, right? So like, for example, here's the landing page or the sales page for this membership to kind of show you how this one is set up. Whenever it loads here, it's always taking longer when I'm sharing my screen. But you can see here, like for this landing page, we have our membership login at the top. So this, if somebody clicks this button, they're going to the login page, right? You're able to, any buttons that you have on a page, you can replace with the actual membership itself. So you go to link and pop a membership login form, right? For any sort of products, right? So we're selling access to our workout classes, our workout routines, our live classes, meal recipes. Each of these is one of those product price points, right? That is giving access to someone from a membership. So you can create sort of like a sales page, a login page that has, your membership access, and then maybe access to an ebook if you want, right? Otherwise, if you're going to go the portal route, the ebook has to be within a membership, because within a portal, it's only going to list your memberships that you have listed there. So hopefully that answers your question. If you have any follow-ups or just need a little more clarification, yeah.